Ready to roll, ready to roll. Welcome back into the pod, seatbelt people. This is your host, Burch. Today we are going to cover all of college football week 6. Going to give out some winners this year so far. I'm filming this on Friday. To this date, we are hitting at 68% in college football, so let's keep that mojo going. If you haven't seen already, I just dropped my NFL best picks against the spread already on this YouTube channel, so make sure to check that out. A lot of good stuff over there, some winners. So let's stay hot. If you follow me on Twitter, that's where I release all of my picks. You can find me at Braden_Burcham_. I will also leave that in the comments, but that's where I track all my plays, live plays, pregame, you name it. It's all on Twitter. So just now getting into the swing of this YouTube thing, I think I'm going to do this weekly. Every week, NFL and college football show where I pretty much just give away my best picks against the spread. So let's stay hot. Before we get into it, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, my name is Burch. I'm going to have you covered with everything college football, NFL, and when college basketball starts, we're going to be doing a lot more of these. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. But this video, all about college football. Now, I'm going to sit right off the bat. I'm going to state that this is not the best week to bet on college football. We have a couple of good games, but other than that, this is not the greatest. You know, last week we had like 8 ranked matchups. That was straight cinema. Last weekend was the best weekend of college football by far. But no, there's still some winners to find, so we're going to find them. And it starts with my best bet of the week in NFL and college football. It comes in a game between Wisconsin and Michigan. Now, Michigan is the home team. They are laying 17.5 points. When I look at this Wisconsin team, we still don't know what the quarterback situation is going to look like. Billy Edwards Jr. comes in over from Maryland before the year, and everybody in Madison is making a big deal. Oh my gosh, Wisconsin's finally going to have a passing attack. Wrong. Jeff Grimes comes over from Kansas. He's the offensive coordinator, and they are still run heavy. They cannot throw the football. They literally cannot complete a forward pass. Now they play one of the best defenses in college football in Michigan, and they are not going to succeed against them. Michigan is going to win this game. My guess is by 4 touchdowns. I am taking the Wolverines minus 17.5 on the spread in this game for my best bet. Burch, best week, seatbelt, best game, whatever you want to name it. I have not came up with a name for that yet, so you guys pick. But my bet of the week, Burch bet of the week, Michigan minus 17.5 against Wisconsin. And one thing I also want to talk about in this game is Wisconsin, don't get me wrong, they have a great defense. They can run the ball a little bit, but this is not the Wisconsin team we saw 5-6 years ago making consecutive Rose Bowls. They're just not. They're not the same. I think Michigan is going to curb stomp the Wisconsin Badgers. I don't think it's even going to be close. And then my next game I kind of want to get into is Vanderbilt and Alabama. Now, this game is trending all over social media. We all know what happened last year. Vanderbilt defeats the Crimson Tide at home. They carry the goalpost to Broadway, downtown Nashville, and they're all partying. It was a huge upset. They were like 21.5-point dogs at that point. Now, the game's in Alabama this year, and Alabama is laying 10.5 at home. And I kind of like Vanderbilt again this year to cover the spread. I'm going to take the Commodores plus 10.5. I think this is a game that Diego Pavia has all the tools to compete against Alabama. I actually think when I'm looking at in the trenches, I think Vanderbilt matches up really well with Alabama. So I'm taking Vanderbilt plus 10.5. Now, Ty Simpson has looked a lot better since his week 1 loss to Florida State, the quarterback for Alabama. He's played really good football. Vanderbilt's defense is going to have to step up and force a couple turnovers because if they don't, this could get really ugly and Alabama will win this game by multiple touchdowns. But I think Vanderbilt is up for the challenge. They're finally a legit football team. They're undefeated. I like the Commodores to get 10.5 points on the road in a game that they could win outright. You know, if everything's clicking on the offensive side of the ball, if they get a couple turnovers from Alabama, Vanderbilt very well could win this game. But I'm taking them for the sake of the show, plus 10.5 for one of my Burch bets this week. So far, those are my 2 favorite bets, Michigan and Vanderbilt. Now, obviously, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, the apparel today. Kansas coming off a loss to Cincinnati at home. Absolutely brutal loss. Things were looking good in Kansas this year for their football team. Quarterback Jalen Daniels is one of the top 5 best quarterbacks in the country, in my opinion now. The defense for the Jayhawks has struggled tremendously. They do not have a single defensive back that can cover. Cincinnati gained 603 total yards against the Jayhawks a week ago. It was brutal. I think DK McDonald, the defensive coordinator, is going to have the boys ready to play on the road at UCF this week. Kansas right now is laying 4.5 points on the road at UCF, according to DraftKings Sportsbook. And I'm going to take the Jayhawks, and this is why. I think Jalen Daniels is so mad at his defensive performance last week, his defense, that he's going to come out and he's going to score on every drive. I think Lance is going to go for it on every fourth down. This is a very mad Jalen Daniels right now. They're going to rack up the points. I also like the over in this game. Now, not discrediting UCF because the bounce house, very tough place to play. But I just think Kansas is going to be ready to roll. Like I said, Jalen Daniels probably upset after and he still threw for like 400 yards last week, but he probably upset his team lost last week. He's going to come out on fire. I trust the Jayhawks and Lance Leipold to win this game by at least a touchdown. Now, the spread's 4.5. I think KU will cover. So KU minus 4.5 is also one of my best bets at UCF in the bounce house. Another game, which I'm recording this on Friday, and this game is actually tonight. Another Big 12 game, West Virginia at BYU. The Cougars are laying right now 19 points, which that's kind of crazy. But when you look at both teams, it's not so crazy. West Virginia has been brutal the last couple weeks. I'm taking the over tonight. That's my only bet for Friday night. I'm taking the over in that game at 46.5. I think if West Virginia can score like 14 to 20-ish points, this over will easily hit because we all know what BYU can do on the offensive side of the ball. So if you're watching this on Friday, make sure to get that in, the BYU West Virginia over. That's my only bet for Friday. But let's get back to the slate on Saturday. We also have Miami, Florida going to Florida State. Miami, Florida is laying 4.5 points on the road. This is another over spot I really like. And this is why Tommy Castellanos and that Florida State team, they actually run a pretty good offense. Now, their defense has struggled a little bit, but they run a pretty good offense. We already know Carson Beck. I was not high on Carson Beck before the season, but he is doing everything Miami, Florida has asked him to do. He's playing very good football. So Miami, Florida will probably cover this game, 4.5 on the road, but I love the over. I think this is a slam dunk over spot. This is going to be a shootout. I think both teams could get to the 40-point mark, and I might be crazy for saying that, but I absolutely love this over. This over and the BYU over on Friday are probably my two favorite sides for the total there. And so, yeah, BYU will probably roll, but I think there's going to be a lot of points. Now, another game, let's get into it. I got to pull up my DraftKings real quick because the odds have changed just a little bit. We're sticking with Saturday, by the way. But so if you're watching this on Friday, make sure to get that BYU over in. Let's pull up the odds real quick. College football, if this ever loads. Let's see here. Football, college football. Sorry, my computer's being really slow. I'm missing one game that I wanted to talk about. Let's see here. Oh, North Carolina, Clemson. This is the last game I'm going to talk about. And like I said, this is, on YouTube. This has kind of been an experiment. So bear with me. But the last game I want to talk about, North Carolina, Clemson. North Carolina is getting 14 points at home against a Clemson team that has been absolutely brutal. Now, Clemson was high up on my radar before the season started. Cade Klubnik, Heisman-type quarterback. Woods on the defensive side of the ball. He's the best defensive player in the country, and I still believe that. Now, Dabo Swinney has got to figure this out one way or another, and I keep saying that week after week after week, and I keep backing Clemson, and we still haven't seen it yet. So I cannot trust Dabo Swinney and this Clemson Tiger team. I'm going to put my money on Bill Belichick and that North Carolina team at home, and I hate to do it because they got embarrassed their first game on national television. But 14 points is way too much for this ACC contest. Now, if Clemson would be in a spot where they only had one loss and they've been competitive, then maybe, this spread would probably be in the 20 range. But Clemson has done nothing to show me that they are a legit contender. That Georgia Tech game absolutely, I think, ended their season because after that, they have not bounced back. Give me Bill Belichick's North Carolina team at home plus 14. Cade Klubnik has not showed me anything. Dabo Swinney's got to figure it out at Clemson. I'm taking Bill Belichick, North Carolina plus 14 in this game. So those are my 4 or 5 bets that I went over that I've already placed so far. Now, like I said, this show will get longer as the season goes on, but I just want to get this out so you guys can get the bets in. Like I said, if you want all my bets in live time, all you got to do is just follow the channel, but more importantly, follow me on Twitter. That's where I tweet out all my plays for free. And I will drop my Twitter handle in the comment section. It's just Braden_Burcham_. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter. You'll get all my picks. Also, my NFL video I dropped this morning. check that out. I got 4 plays in the NFL that I've already bet. We beat some line movement before injuries there, so that was good. But no, like I said, my name's Burch. Let's continue to stay hot with these wagers, and let's have a great week. College football, NFL, let's crush them both. Stay hot. Also, seatbelt people over on Twitter. We are going for 6 straight winning days. So like I said, follow the channel. My bets have been crushing right now. So let's keep the mojo going. Everybody have a great weekend. Happy college football weekend, NFL weekend. And let's win some wagers, baby. Woo!